There are 4 people I want you to think about for a moment. They don't know each other. They live in different times, and they made completely different choices in life. But somehow, all 4 of them ended up making the exact same mistake with money. Not because they were careless, not because they were uneducated, but because they believed something that almost everyone believes at some point, that if you follow the version of success the world shows you, everything will work out, and that belief quietly shapes the decisions we make for decades. The first person is Daniel. He's 67 years old now. If you looked at his life from the outside, you would say he did everything right. He worked a stable job for over 40 years, never took unnecessary risks, and made sure his family had everything they needed. Back in the late 1980s, when he was in his late 20s, he made what he believed was the smartest financial decision of his life. He bought a house, not just any house, the biggest house the bank was willing to approve him for. At that time, owning a home wasn't just about shelter, it was a symbol. It meant you had made it. It meant stability, success, and respect. For years, Daniel poured his income into that house. Mortgage payments, repairs, upgrades, renovations, everything went into maintaining and improving it. As property prices rose, the value of his house increased significantly. On paper, Daniel became wealthy. His home is now worth nearly 4 times what he originally paid for it. People admire him. They say he made a great decision. But here's the part no one sees. Most of his wealth is locked inside that house. It doesn't generate income. It doesn't pay his bills. Now that he is retired, he finds himself in a strange position. He owns a valuable asset, but he doesn't have enough liquid money to comfortably fund the next 20 to 25 years of his life. The mistake Daniel made wasn't buying a house. The mistake was believing that the house alone was the entire financial plan. Now think about the second person, Lisa. She's 51 years old. Lisa built a successful career in corporate management. She earns a good salary, lives in a comfortable home, and drives a car that reflects her professional status. Every year, she travels internationally, posting photos from beaches, cities, and resorts. From the outside, Lisa looks like someone who has truly achieved financial success, and in many ways, she has. But there's something subtle happening beneath the surface. When Lisa got her first big promotion in her early 30s, she celebrated by upgrading her lifestyle. A slightly better apartment, a nicer car, better restaurants, more shopping. It felt deserved. After all, she worked hard for it. Then came another raise, and again, her lifestyle expanded. Over time, every increase in income was matched by an increase in spending. This pattern continued for nearly 2 decades. Today, Lisa earns significantly more than she did in her 30s, but her savings rate hasn't improved in any meaningful way. Most of her income flows right back out each month. Her life looks impressive, but the math behind it is fragile. The trap Lisa fell into is often called lifestyle inflation. It doesn't feel dangerous while it's happening because it feels like progress, but over time, it quietly prevents real wealth from building. The third person is Jason. He's 37 years old. Jason belongs to a generation that faced a very different economic environment. By the time he graduated, the cost of housing had already skyrocketed, and stable long-term jobs were harder to find. He worked hard, paid off his student loans, and built a decent income. But buying a house always felt just out of reach. The prices kept rising faster than he could save. Retirement plans felt distant and abstract. So instead, Jason focused on something he could control: his lifestyle. He traveled often. Weekend trips, international vacations, dining experiences, concerts, and subscriptions. There's a popular idea that says you should spend money on experiences, not things. And Jason fully embraced that idea. His life is full of memories, photos, and stories. He genuinely enjoys his time. But here's the hidden issue. While Jason was building experiences, he wasn't building assets. The money that could have gone into investments, index funds, or long-term growth was consistently spent on short-term enjoyment. Now, as he moves closer to his 40s, he starts to realize that while his experiences were valuable, They didn't create any financial foundation. The trap wasn't enjoying life. The trap was using experiences as a replacement for long-term financial growth. Finally, there is Emma. She's 24 years old. She represents a newer generation that is more financially aware than ever before. Emma follows finance creators online, understands the basics of investing, and even puts aside around $50 every month into a simple investment account. She talks about compound interest, passive income, and financial independence. On the surface, it seems like she is far ahead of where most people were at her age, but there's another side to her behavior. Emma also spends a significant amount of money maintaining a certain image. Her apartment is carefully designed to look aesthetic. She upgrades her phone regularly, invests in stylish outfits, and spends on items that look good on social media. She isn't overspending recklessly, but there's a clear imbalance. While she invests $50 per month, she might spend $200 or more on things that enhance her image. The result is a strange contradiction. She's doing the right things in theory, but the scale of her actions doesn't match her intentions. The trap Emma is in is performance. It's the idea of looking financially smart rather than actually being financially strong. So what connects all four of these people? Different ages, different incomes, different environments, yet the same underlying mistake. At some point in their lives, they accepted a version of success that was handed to them by the world around them. For Daniel, success meant owning a house. For Lisa, it meant upgrading her lifestyle as her income grew. For Jason, it meant collecting experiences. For Emma, it meant presenting a certain image. None of these ideas are inherently wrong. The problem is when they become the primary focus, replacing the deeper goal of building real financial security. The world is very good at showing you signals of success. These signals are visible, easy to understand, and socially rewarded. A big house, a luxury car, frequent travel, a curated lifestyle. These things are noticeable. People see them, recognize them, and often admire them. But the substance behind financial success is much quieter. It's built through consistency, discipline, and often involves choices that don't look impressive in the short term. Saving, investing, delaying gratification. These don't get the same attention, but they are what actually create long-term stability. One of the most important shifts you can make is learning to separate the signal from the substance. Just because something looks like success doesn't mean it is building your future. And just because something looks modest doesn't mean it isn't powerful. In fact, many of the most effective financial decisions are invisible to others. Choosing to invest instead of upgrade. Choosing to save instead of spend. Choosing to delay a purchase even when you can afford it. There's a simple principle that can guide all of this, and it applies across generations. Assets first, lifestyle second. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money. It doesn't mean you have to live extremely frugally forever. It simply means that before you expand your lifestyle, you ensure that your assets are growing in a way that can support that lifestyle in the future. It's about building a foundation first, and then building on top of it. If Daniel had balanced his home purchase with consistent investment into retirement funds, his situation today would look very different. If Lisa had saved and invested even half of every raise she received, she would have built significant wealth over time without sacrificing her lifestyle completely. If Jason had allocated a portion of his spending toward long-term investments, his future would feel much more secure. And if Emma focused more on increasing the amount she invests rather than maintaining an image, she could take full advantage of the time she has on her side. The difficult part about all of this is that the traps don't feel like traps when you're inside them. They feel normal. They feel justified. They feel like the right thing to do. That's why awareness is so important. The moment you can clearly identify the pattern you're in, you gain the ability to change it. You can't fix something you don't recognize. So the question becomes very simple, but also very powerful. Which version of this pattern are you currently living? Are you focusing too much on owning something that looks valuable but doesn't generate income? Are you increasing your spending every time your income rises? Are you prioritizing experiences at the cost of long-term growth? Or are you more focused on how things look rather than what they actually build? There's no judgment in the answer. Everyone falls into one of these patterns at some point. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is adjustment. Even small changes, made consistently over time, can completely shift your financial future. Redirecting a portion of your spending into investments, slowing down lifestyle upgrades, being intentional about where your money goes. These actions might seem small, but they compound in ways that are hard to imagine in the beginning. In the end, real financial success is not about what your life looks like today. It's about what your life can sustain tomorrow. It's about building something that supports you, not just something that impresses others. And that often requires making choices that feel uncomfortable in the short term, but incredibly rewarding in the long term. Because the truth is, the world will always offer you a version of success to chase, but it's up to you to decide whether that version actually works for you, or whether it's quietly leading you into the same trap that generations before you have already experienced.